Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is StarCraft 2 giving you a tutorial video of a mid-game strategy against Zerg. So this is a Protoss vs Zerg tutorial video that covers a 12-minute 2 Colossus with range push and +1 attack and +1 armor already done. So let me hop into this game and basically start off where the early game is about to unravel itself. This is the 6-minute mark. I will be going for a +1 attack, Zealot attack. You can find a tutorial video on my channel as well, how to execute the early game of this. What I will be doing in this game is I will be adding my robo facility very early on, even before I warp in these zealots, and I will start up Colossus production as soon as I can. So as you can see from the early game, I will be adding my 4 gateways total, so that I will be warping in zealots at the 8-minute mark. And this is where the deviation comes in, depending on what build you exactly going for. So at the 7-minute mark, I'm going to add 2 extra gases, 2 gases at my natural, so that we're building up a nice depot of gas, simply because I want to start Colossus production. I want to get sentries up, I want to start my robo bay as soon as I can, without cutting any units out of my arsenal, and without stopping my probe production until I have 45 probes exactly, because this attack is designed to be an all-in, which basically means is there is no expansion follow-up to it. You want to kill your opponent with this attack. As you can see, my robo facility is just warping in. I'm still producing probes, I'm still producing pylons. I put my guys in gas at my natural as soon as they finished up. My warp gate finishes up, I warp in my +1 zealots. And this is about the timing that your robo facility should also finish up. I added my robo facility at the 7:30 minute mark. As you can see now, this is my zealot attack. I, in this case, only warped in 3 zealots because I never scouted. I didn't have the option to scout his base here. That's what I'm doing with these zealots. So I will be working on this hatchery, and in the meantime, at home, I'm just producing probes, producing an observer out of the robo facility. At home, I warp in 4 sentries, and I add my robo bay and 3 extra gateways. In the unit counting station, you can see at 45 probes, I stop probe production completely, and I want to try to get as much units as possible. As you can see, out of the robo facility, I'm chrono boosting out an observer and a warp prism, because my warp prism will serve as my proxy pylon in this game. I'm warping in as much zealots and stalkers as I can, with keeping enough gas and minerals for my Colossus production. As you can see now, I'm adding a lot of pylons, because I know that after my Colossus started, I want to warp in more units, and it will eat up a lot of my supply. So make sure you add in enough pylons before you start your Colossus production, otherwise you'll get supply block rather quickly. So I added my 3 gateways, so now I'm a total of 6 gateways, and I'm warping in pure stalkers. Whenever I have the money, the gas specifically, to warp in an extra sentry, I will do it, as you can see now. And I'm started my +1 armor when my robo bay is on the way. So once robo facility is done, add your robo bay, add 3 more gateways, and start your +1 armor. As soon as my first Colossus is out, I'm going to clear out the watchtowers and make sure that I have a good footing in front of my opponent's base to warp in and to secure my place where I can actually attack into his army, basically. So as you can see, I'm spending my chrono boost. I just missed when the icon disappeared. I'm spending a lot of chrono boost on my Colossus, because at the 12-minute mark I basically want to be moving in. As you can see now, my Colossus finishes up. My second Colossus finishes up, and I'm moving closer and closer onto creep. And this is where the observer actually comes in. I can deny creep tumors. I can deny I have high ground vision with the Colossus and the observer, so I can harass him a little bit till my second Colossus is here. and I'm using my force fields to pick off as much units as I can without losing any of my units. He damaged one of my stalkers, but didn't kill any, and I still killed 3-4 roaches of him. So this is the push itself. I'm slowly pushing in, making sure that I'm not overextending myself into this huge ball of roaches, and I'm just cutting off units wherever I can. I keep warping in, and at home I'm not producing anything else except for Colossus, and I'm warping in at the battlefield stalkers, and whenever too many sentries of mine die, I warp in a set of sentries and a couple of zealots. So as you can see, I'm slowly pushing ahead. I'm actually forcing him to pull all his drones to his main in order to not lose them. And his army is only this. He has 16 roaches, 3 corruptors. That's his whole army. If you look at what my army is, it's a lot bigger than his army, of course. So I keep warping in stalkers, and in this case I'm actually warping a round of zealots because I want to send him to his 3rd base. But before that, actually, he also already GG's out. At home, I'm still producing Colossus. As you can see, my Colossus count stays at 2, 3 at a time. And this is where my opponent just GG's out of the game because he cannot handle the amount of units that I have. So that's the tutorial for today. Quickly going over it, the build again. So I'm starting up with the early game +1 zealot attack. At the 7-minute mark, I'm going to add 2 extra gases at my natural, so that I will be mining from 4 gases as soon as these finish up. I'm going to add my robo facility at 7:30. As soon as my robo facility is done, I'm going to start my robo bay and chrono out an observer and a warp prism. Make sure that you make lots of pylons when the robo bay is warping in, because otherwise you will get supply block rather quickly. I will add my 3 extra gateways as soon as I added my robo bay, and I'm going to start my +1 armor. At this point, all I'm warping in at home is sentries, preferably up to 6. 6 is a good number to have in this push. The rest will be pure stalkers, and spend all my chrono boost on the Colossus. As soon as my first Colossus pops out, I'm going to move around the map, start making my way up to my opponent's base, make sure my warp prism is with my army so that I can warp in more units. And as soon as my second Colossus joined the fight, I'm going to actually push into my opponent's base and start picking off units. So where is this push good for? As you can see, my opponent basically rushed for a muta build off of 3 hatches. The 3 hatches, very typical against a Forge Fast Expand, of course. But he will be banking a lot of gas and a lot of minerals to get as much mutas out as possible. And this build punishes this greedy muta play rather hard. If he's going for a lot of roaches, you just have to be careful to section off like 5-6 roaches at a time with force fields, kill them. Make sure you're in a good position again, that you can force field a couple of roaches again, and make sure you keep chipping away at his army so that you don't lose that much, and he will lose every time he moves in, or you move in, he loses like 5-6 roaches at a time. So thank you all for watching, and my next tutorial video will be a Protoss versus Terran one. We'll also cover an early game and a mid game strategy. So hopefully you follow me on YouTube, Twitter to know when this tutorial video goes up, and thank you all for watching.